Welcome to Cinema Discussions. My name is John. I am joined by our senior British accents correspondent, Vaughan, for the evening.
Hello.
And we are here discussing the BFG in theaters now, based off of the Roald Dahl children's book and directed by Steven Spielberg. Interestingly, this movie reunites much of the team from E.T., the Extraterrestrial.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty large number of that crew.
Yeah, it had Spielberg and the music by John Williams, and I'm sure it goes on from there. I'd seen things beforehand from other parts of the crew. I'm not sure if they have the same cinematographer, editor, or any of that kind of stuff, but possibly. All I know is from they advertised it being from the same.
That would take more reading than we have time for.
Yeah, don't need that. But before we get into discussing in depth in the film, and I guess spoilers, but depends if you've read the book or whatever, how you're getting into it.
If you haven't read the book by now, it's your own fault.
Yeah.
Admittedly, I have not read it.
I haven't read it either.
I wasn't at that stage in the target age range for Roald Dahl books.
Yeah, I really need to go back and read more of his stuff because I like the stories that he comes up with and the kind of sensibility that he has. And Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory specifically, is one of my favorite movies growing up. So, gotta read more of his stuff.
Yeah.
But and The Fantastic Mr. Fox is a great film as well.
Great adaptation.
Yeah. So
I love that one.
So the book's got to be good if the films are that good. So before we get into this, recommendations. How much you recommend the film?
So the short review of this one. Personally, like the last couple of years of my life, when I see a movie that has British principal actors in it, or just a lot of British people, like by the end of the movie, I want to kill British people.
I mostly get that with Cockney accents. That's the one that really bugs me.
Yeah, even the mild ones are still kind of snooty sounding. It's more certain words that set me off than other words.
Okay.
I hate the way they say bottle.
Oh.
just as an example. So by the end of the movie, I did kind of want to tear my ears off.
Okay.
But thoroughly enjoyable up to that point.
I think that it's a great story, good visuals in it, similar to something like E.T., but on a modern
it's a blend of CGI and live action.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be great for families, for anyone with kids. Definitely a good thing. As far as for your average adults. There's probably better movies out there to see right now. You'll be more interested in maybe. Yeah. I don't know. It's not I wouldn't put it at the top of your list unless you're already interested in Roald Dahl and that kind of stuff. But if you like Disney adventure movies or even Spielberg's any of Spielberg's stuff, but mostly his kid stuff. It's not like this isn't War Horse or Lincoln. Yeah. But things like E.T. or the Goonies or any of that kind of stuff.
I guess it would be fairly comparable to Goonies in a weird way.
Yeah, just that same kind of spirit.
Yeah, kind of. It's really a childlike adventure, not childish.
Yeah,
but childlike because there is just one girl who is the main character of this whole story,
and then everyone else is adults or giants.
Yeah. Yeah, that's literally the entire cast.
We don't care about it because their references are good. All right, we'll get into now. Spoiler alert! We're going to dive down deep into this film.
Our star rating before the spoiler section.
Before the spoiler section.
Yeah,
we'll do that after the spoiler section.
Yeah, I thought that was the recommendation.
No, just basic recommendation.
Oh, the general recommendation. Yes, go see it.
Because the star rating can it can tip people too much.
Okay.
So put that at the end.
All right.
All right, so the BFG, starring Mark Rylance he was most recently in Bridge of Spies, directed by Steven Spielberg. So you obviously got along well doing that. I was surprised at the end credits, as happens a lot with his films, that Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords was in it as one of the other giants. He keeps popping up in films like Men in Black 3 was one where he played the villain in that one.
Yeah.
And in the end, you're like, what? That was him? I don't know, other ones that are popping up. Muppets Most Wanted, he was a kind of odd character. Like, he keeps playing these characters where he's in a lot of prosthetics or something where you're just not...
Oh, that would explain it, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I think one thing that was probably bugged me the most about the film was the extended fart joke. They're at it. Just that they made that such a crucial point. It was, I mean, it's fine. It's just not my kind of humor.
Yeah, the old whiz popper.
Yes, they did it in an interesting way, though.
Yeah. Although making the Queen and everybody else do it at the end of the movie, a little bit excessive, but okay, you gotta give something to the kids who are watching it.
I think it's definitely great for kids or people who just love fart humor, but yeah, that's where it's a little extended for you. But and if that's in the original book, then by all means, of course, they have to do that if it is. But it's similar to the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory fizzy lifting drink with the burping. The other side of that, because the bubbles go the other way. They didn't really explain a few things, and mostly about the giant, the BFG. As like kind of a reference, he is the runt of the surviving giants. Yeah, he's the smallest of the giants.
By far the smallest.
He can be tossed around by other giants.
Yeah, like he's nothing. Which is kind of how big the biggest of the regular giants is. Yeah,
I don't. There's not a lot of times where you get to appreciate the scale of the difference of them. You do get to see them compared to each other, but we don't get a lot of, at least my feeling of it, you don't get a lot of seeing the other giants compared to other humans. Like if we had seen them in our human world, we only see them in, the giant.
Yeah. So the friendly giant looked like he was roughly, I want to say, 4 stories tall.
I think so.
He was about the same height as the royal residence, the queen's residence.
Yes.
Not one of the palaces. It was like her. Just a living house.
And so we got to see him in that environment.
Right.
But I want to see the even bigger giants. It would get a little bit of scale.
In the scene where they're tossing him around and really bullying him a lot, it appeared that he was about belt height with the tallest one, and maybe a little above that for the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
And these guys are definitely giants.
Yeah.
And if you set them loose in London, they'll tear the place a new one.
But we don't get to see that. We just see them tossed off to a little island.
The one other thing I was confused about, maybe I just missed it, but there's... Oh, there it goes. There is why he was collecting dreams in the first place. I think I just missed that part of the dialogue.
I don't know if it's really necessarily explained in the film, at least not that I noticed in it.
Just that it was just something he was doing?
Yeah, or just what he does. It's just how we do. I don't know. There's got to be some great backstory reason for that.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw. That's a good point. I don't really notice a purpose that they explained about why he did that.
Yeah, he clearly knows the art/science of these dreams, because
he can mix them together.
He can hear them. He knows what the dream is. He can mix them together and turn them into new dreams, arbitrarily.
Yeah.
Clearly, the red ones are bad, like in most every color context situation.
Yeah.
So he has the little secret shelf of bad dreams,
which he just keeps giving her bad dreams.
Yeah.
It starts off being like, here's the worst thing I can give you.
Oh yeah, and this jar has the worst dream I've ever seen. Sure.
She, in the beginning, Sophie, she kind of bugged me as an actress at the beginning, and wasn't really buying it. She seemed like kind of the typical child actor, nothing exceptional. But then as it went on, I thought she fit in the role really well.
Yeah, did kind of grow into it better. I don't know if that was a case of them specifically writing the character that way.
Maybe. I mean, because all the shots in the
I would
trailer...
imagine in the book that she grows as the story goes along.
Yeah.
But I think that the girl they had playing her also got better as the movie went along.
Yeah, or maybe it was just that she wasn't... I didn't, like her as much when she was playing scared. I didn't think that made work. It was mostly in just specific shots that I think I was soured by the trailer because all of the shots in the trailer I didn't really like her in it. But then in the context of the rest of the film, I think it was fine. I like the little bit of foreshadowing in the beginning when she's looking into the dollhouse in the orphanage, and like the look of her being giant as compared to that. I mean, we already know going into it that it's a giant movie, but
yeah,
it's the kind of thing where it was just a neat little artistic
thing. They didn't take a cheap route with that, where they just copied an exact shot.
Yeah, no.
They have for the split second you have like a imaginary head where that bed was, looking out at her, and then a part of me was expecting, I bet they're going to do the exact same thing with the giant's eye over here, and she's like looking at him.
Yeah, they could have, but
they didn't.
Yeah. I missed it, but in the end credit, I was looking for little Easter eggs in the film, and I didn't notice any, but in the end credits, it said the E.T. doll license from Universal Pictures. So there is an E.T. doll hidden in that film somewhere.
I did not see it.
And I'm guessing it would either be in when they visit the one boy to give him a dream, and in his bedroom it could be in there, or in the little treehouse hideout from the boy he had gotten before.
Oh yeah, the previous boy's little bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are two thoughts of where it could be. I don't think it would be in the orphanage. It would be.
Probably not, because it was nighttime every time you saw that building.
Yeah. But, it's cool that there had to be an E.T. reference in there. I don't know if there were other, references to other Roald Dahl stuff in there, but they didn't, nothing showed up in the credits, so I don't know what to look for those. Any other, what are some favorite parts of the film?
Favorite part? The Dream Country sequence was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Having the gravity switch just by jumping through the lake.
Looking in the reflection, because I like the first shot that you see of it, where you see the reflection and all the dreams there, but the tree doesn't have any of them on there.
Yeah, that's a reference to how mirrors are generally considered to show
the how Alice through the looking glass thing.
Yeah, Alice and they things that are magical or otherwise invisible you can usually see through mirrors.
Or things like vampires not being able to see through mirrors. Yeah, the magic.
Yeah, and mirrors have the weird truth revealing aspect to them, like, unless you break them.
Yeah, maybe it has to do with just a kind of old thinking of it's a kind of magical device. If you're, the first time anyone would see a mirror, it's a kind of weird special thing because it can show you exactly what's going on. It's like before you have video or anything like that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. So I think that could be why you've got so much storytelling that involves mirrors having magical properties.
Oh yeah.
I like I like the whole interaction with the Queen when they're serving them the food.
The breakfast sequence.
Yeah.
Very very over the top and comical just in watching it happen, but ultimately kind of pointless.
Yeah,
but fun to watch.
It was fun to watch, but to the story, it wasn't really crucial to that at all.
Yeah.
And I like that their plan kind of worked.
It worked surprisingly well.
Yeah.
For the first time any of these people have ever seen giants.
I was expecting there to be so many more thoughts, like getting the Queen to be on their side, or to not attack the first giant, or like there's so many places where it could have fallen apart, but the plan just goes so smoothly.
Yeah.
I think it's because they spend so much time in Giant Country and with trying to navigate through that whole world and learning about the dreams and figuring all that and trying to save Sophie from the other giants. I think that they spend so long on that you then have to kind of rush the rest of it. So that you don't get that kind of back and forth, trial and error, or does this work out with the queen?
By that point, the reader is definitely invested in it.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can give them some kind of climax like that, and they won't worry about it too much. But you're also so late into the story that now, if some new problem were to happen, people would probably tune out.
Yeah. I think it would drag at that point, but it just part of it just
what's the runtime on this one?
On that. 117 minutes, so just shy of 2 hours.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, still decently long film, especially for a kid's fantasy film.
Yeah.
I think, so that's probably the weakest part for me is that, and then the farting scene, not liking as much, but still, it works. And then I think the CGI is pretty decent on it. As far as the giants look pretty cool. I always kept looking at how every time Sophie would interact with BFG as like grabbing his hand or as he's holding her, and just thinking about how they're filming that. Because you're having these people interacting with, Mark Rylance is interacting with something fake, and then Sophie's interacting with
and you have a lot of situations where there are many points of contact just happening around her. When he's holding her like this, and then he switches to like this, or
so she's got
holding her like this. So they're having to do something to account for all these different like physical points of contact that they now have to adjust for, like on her or in the CGI, all kinds of things. So even given that, I didn't see anything that really
nothing
that really blew it.
Yeah, I mean, there were some things that I could tell it was difficult for they were doing there, like not perfect, but nothing so crazy as I've seen in so many like past times where people have done this kind of thing, where you'll see it and it'll just be like they're obviously not holding that person, like something weird with it doesn't match up quite right. Yeah. So they did seem to take a lot of care.
It's bad enough that it takes you out of the belief.
Yeah. So that I don't think it did that on this one.
I went right through with it the whole time.
Yeah, and that was something even I was looking for, and still didn't really notice anything. I don't know any other big things with this there. I like the John Williams score. I think it's pretty good. Don't know if it's necessarily something like that stands out as like an all-time classic of it, but it fit with the film.
Oh yeah.
Only time will tell if it becomes like the songs become something magical for people. As like if a kid grows up watching this film, then it can be similar to like. It's not going to be like Indiana Jones.
I don't see it becoming iconic and recognizable, but all the songs were just well done.
Yeah, but in the same way, like the E.T. theme isn't as epic as Star Wars or Indiana Jones, but it's still like one that if it plays, like you're like, oh, that's the theme from E.T. So I think that there could still be one where like possibly see that's the thing I don't know if a kid grows up watching this film if that music is sticking enough.
Well, it could be.
Not like the Harry Potter thing. That's another one where like he's got so many hits and
generally if a movie is going to have a hit song like that,
I guess you'd already kind of know it.
Yeah, well, you would immediately like latch on to that song when when the movie is flying by, because Indiana Jones theme, the Jurassic Park theme, the first one, they're all the Star Wars theme songs, they're all they're all immediately recognizable upon first watching of the movie. It's like, oh, that's a good song. Yeah,
so I guess the music is just good, and it's just nothing's gonna like stand out. Yeah. Probably won't get. I don't know. John Williams gets a lot of Oscar nominations for his scores, so there's a chance he'll get the nomination for it, but probably won't go for it. Especially I don't know if he's doing the next Star Wars movie or what else is going on, but because the other one's not a main Star Wars film. So I guess that they'd give it to someone else for Rogue One.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's it. At least my thought, because they're not using the title. They're not going to use the title scroll.
Yeah.
Because if they start doing that, then they can do more of the other films and not have to have drum layers on every single one of them. In which case, I'd go with someone like Michael Giacchino. But it kind of depends on what kind of score you're getting. Because Rogue One, in my mind, is like a heist movie. So then you'd go and get someone.
It seems like it would be darker for a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Although I've been avoiding a lot of it because I think if I see too many trailers for it, it's going to ruin it for me.
All I know is just where it falls in the timeline, so I know that basic idea. But anyway, about the BFG, I give it I give it 3 stars. I settled on that. I couldn't really afford it. Give me a lot, but I really liked it. Just it's not like I've rewatched it a bunch of times. What do you think?
I would rate it probably 3.5.
Yeah, 3.5 is fair.
I was going to push it up to 4, but not for the rewatching of it, just for the quality of this movie. I wouldn't be watching it again because okay.
I think that's what it is. I mean, quality alone, this film is really well done.
Yeah.
Really great quality. But just as far as my enjoyment and wanting to watch it a bunch more times, it's not going to be it's not like an instant classic for me. But still good. Good job.
Oh yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching this. We'll see how all this focus stuff goes through.
Camera's kind of not behaving today.
No, I think the 4th of July is not being nice to it. And you can write to us at magicapetv@gmail.com. Let us know if there are movies that are coming up that you're interested in seeing, or if you have any thoughts on these movies, and we can input that somewhere. Comment on YouTube. Subscribe to magicapetv@gmail.com, or subscribe to our podcast, Cinema Discussions, on iTunes and Stitcher. Thank you all for watching and listening. Bye.